Hey YouTube, coming at you with the viewer submitted team from Prepained, Mandibuzz, Charjabug, AZUMARILL, and they say, first ever submission, I find Dunsparce on the lead bad for my team. I need to stay in with Mandy to do chip before going to AZUMARILL. I don't count and don't know all my typings. I went 7-2-1. I played like crap in a few matches. I don't care about the harsh criticism. Been a fan for a while from Toronto. Last season was 2,300. Okay, so pros and cons of this team. Pro, bulky AF. So very, very bulky. Mandibuzz, Charjabug, super bulky. The charge move pressure is something I'm a little worried about. Because all these Pokemon are so bulky and less attack heavy, like I bet you have what, Dark Pulse, X-Scissor, and Play Rough. They don't threaten much in the charge room department, and you don't have enough of fast move to offset the not charge move pressure, right? Snarl not doing much, Bubble not doing much, Volt Switch does decent amount. So that may be one of the bigger flaws. In terms of coverage, weak to Fairy and Ice, can deal with Fairy and Ice. Weak to ground here, you can deal with ground. Yeah, so like I think they actually cover each other's weaknesses quite well. Let's look at it in action. So Mandibuzz against Talonflame. Kind of a neutralish matchup. So don't throw here. Okay, good. As I'll say, they're going to throw, but that's fine. 3 versus 5 in terms of fast move duration is kind of tricky. I would throw 1 and then the Dark Pulse. Yeah, it's not the optimal, but it's what you kind of need to do in this situation. So I like that. I would have gone 1 and throw again because you would have forced their energy, like force their shield, because they probably would have wanted to save their energy. How did you CMP on a 6 versus 5? Okay. Out comes Goodra. Going for the Aerial Ace. I don't know if you're going to get to a second move, and if you're not going to get to a second move, you probably just go Dark Pulse. Okay, you do get to... Okay, that's okay. If you're going to get to 2 moves and just go double Aerial Ace as opposed to 1 Dark Pulse, I think that makes sense, actually. So, that is actually quite heads up there. Out comes the Charjabug. Okay. You do not know typings. You have... okay. It's a tricky one here. Obviously, in any neutral energy, even shield scenario, you're coming AZUMARILL because AZUMARILL will resist the Dragon Breath. Now, you're in a weird situation where your Bubble is also resisted, and yes, you can get to super effective Ice Beam and Play Roughs, but they potentially have super effective Thunder Punch here too. So I think you came in Charjabug because they have a charge move, and you'd rather take potentially resisted Thunder Punch or like a neutral Aqua Tail on this, as opposed to coming in taking a super effective move from AZUMARILL and still doing resisted bubbles. Now, the only problem is your Volt Switch is resisted, but their Dragon Breath is neutral, so they could add up here. So they do get a couple more Dragon Breaths and add another move. So I guess you're worried about the double Thunder Punch going on AZUMARILL. So that's okay. X-Scissor, just tanky, but X-Scissor is an okay move. It's going to be close. I go back to back here. Okay, yeah, 1 and throw, that's fine. With a 1-turn move, you can just kind of throw whenever. And you do take it out. What is in the back? It is a Whimsicott. So you do have a shield, which is nice. I think with the shield, plus you'll live 1 with ease, it'll do like 60-ish. Not even. Wow. Yeah, it's right. It's only Seed Bomb. It's not like a blanking on the harder hitting moves, but with being able to live probably 2 plus the shield, you only need 2 Ice Beams to land here. So Whimsicott is not the bulkiest Pokemon out there, so able to take this out with the Ice Beam. Mandibuzz into Marowak. So that's obviously a fantastic lead. They can only do resisted moves, so straight Goodra. And again with the Charjabug. See, this is what I don't know. Honestly, I think you have to come to AZUMARILL. Yes, your Bubble's resisted, but so is their Dragon Breath. And you would get same type attack bonus on the Play Rough, while they would get no same type attack bonus on the Thunder Punch, and the punches aren't great moves. So you have to come Azumarill in that matchup there. The last one I could like, so I did justify it for you, but yeah, you gotta come your Fairy into this matchup. So lose the even shield, and now you just lost switch. You are double weak to electric here, actually. Now that I kind of noticed that. Mandibuzz and Azumarill is double weak to electric, so it's like ABA weak to electric. But again, you have other secondary typing issues here, so... this will take out... I guess the pro is that... okay. Sorry, one sec. Note to self, don't eat popcorn before going on camera. Okay. One thing that I did not consider was the lead. And the lead was Marowak. So Charjabug is going to have a pretty rough time with Marowak, but Azumarill and Mandibuzz will both destroy it. So basically just coming in to what is not a great matchup with your Charjabug into Goodra is not a bad idea when you have two amazing answers in the back. They try to catch on a Marowak, but unfortunately they just caught an Ice Beam, which is super effective. Getting right back into your Flyer here. Dark Pulse probably won't, yeah, it would have been close. They could have Rock, I mean, Rock Slide is a second move, so this will hurt if it lands, but you do live. The Mud Slaps are not going to take you down. Get another move. Azumarill line up with Umbreon. Should be good here. And you don't even need it. Okay, another Marowak lead. So another good lead. They are staying in. They do have Rock Slide. I don't love staying in this matchup because it is a non-stab Rock Slide, but you are Shadow, so it may hurt more than I expected to. The problem with Mud Slap being such a hard-hitting move and it being double resisted, it's not a great scenario to be in. And you make the Rock Slide catch on the Azumarill. Which is kind of, yeah, that's the only thing I was going to say. They may have an answer for this because you're weak to water. If you're Marowak, so that's probably your water and ice. So you probably have, oh, well, you're now double weak to ice on this, but weak to water, so you probably have a water answer in the back. And Mandibuzz, on top of that, Mandibuzz is a pretty good answer for a Mud Boy. So they probably have an answer to a Flyer in the back. So I don't know about switching out there. I mean, they're not getting out here. This is early in the season, so I like maybe... yeah, okay, there's your answer, right? There's your Dunsparce. The answer to the Flyer. That's something that you just kind of need to like think about team building from like... everyone kind of understands team building from their perspective. Oh, I got to cover this, I got to cover that. You got to also understand that your opponent's doing that same analysis in their mind, right? So they got a Mud Slap user on the front, which is going to have a ton of trouble with grass because grass resists it, and Flyers. And they have a grass answer in Jumpluff, and they have a Flyer answer in Dunsparce. Right, so you got to just kind of know that your opponent is also team building for what their opponent has. So you just kind of need to make that like read yourself. So if this has, well, most are running Aerial Ace to Shadows. Yeah, so it's not like an Acrobatics, which will really hurt. So getting off this X Scissor before they do any more damage. Back to back, taking out the Marowak. Ooh, 1 HP. but Mud Slap not enough. And Dunsparce for the win. Okay, Whiscash, again, pretty good lead. This is like, I mean, your Charjabug isn't seeing this, so you'd much rather see it here. I would have maybe thrown the Dark Pulse to try deal before Skull potentially lowers your attack. No lowering of the attack. I guess in terms of fast move optimization, not ideal. I don't know why you're going Aerial Ace. Dark Pulse is so much better in damage per energy. I'm saying that so confidently, but I'm not sure anymore. I'm pretty sure that Dark Pulse is way better in a damage. Raw damage, obviously, but I'm pretty sure even damage per energy is way better. Yeah, 1.92 compared to 1.65. So there's really no reason to throw Aerial Ace. I think the only reason you throw Aerial Ace is if it's like super effective. Otherwise, any sort of, if you can get to a Dark Pulse, get to the Dark Pulse and do it. Again, you have two answers for Mandibuzz. And so I understand why you're coming here because Volt Switch is also super effective and Discharge is super effective. I still think you come with your Fairy just because you resist the Dark Pulse and the Snarls and you just force them to throw Aerial Aces, whereas opposed to they're still chipping you pretty good with these Dark Pulses. And now they get to an Aerial Ace too, right? So I think, yeah, now you just give up 2 shields. You do have X Scissors here, so you may grab one back here, or they're just going to sacrifice. And it is a fighter in the back, it looks like. So getting one Aerial Ace off, it is Shadow Machamp, who's just going to counter you down, or Karate Chop you down, I guess, now. And out comes the Azumarill. So they'll have to throw either Rock Slide or Stone Edge or whatever second move they have. It is a Stone Edge. That hurts. Shadow Machamp doesn't care about your typings. I mean, Stone Edge is neutral, but they are 100% going to shield this. Now, this will not take out. Can they get to a Cross Chop to take you out before? Nice snipe. Sniping with the resisted X Scissor. Not enough. They are at a move. So they have to dump this Cross Chop. And now Azumarill is... Ooh, that's the one. That's the 7-2 and 1 tie. So tie there. Yeah, I still think you probably come Azumarill into Mandibuzz there. Again, good lead. Could be Stone Edge, which would hurt. So let's just try and chip this. They shield. Interesting. And you give up Switch. Also interesting. I get that they could have a Stone Edge, so you want to potentially not take that. They just do the resisted Aqua Tail at you, or I guess you caught. Now could be the Stone Edge anyways. I mean, they're not getting out, so they probably don't have an answer for this in the back. And I don't like the Ice Beam here. I would probably just go Play Rough, because Play Rough gets same type attack bonus and does more, probably takes out there. And they're already down a shield, so they're on. Okay, yeah, two things. One, you got to go Play Rough there. Just in terms of raw damage and damage per energy, 90 for Ice Beam, 108 for Play Rough, and a 1.8 damage per energy in terms of, versus 1.64. So I think you just throw the Play Rough, same type attack bonus, get that add on there to probably take it out. And the reason you throw that, not only is it because it probably takes it out, is because they're already down a shield and they're unlikely to spend both shields on their Quagsire this early. So that's what I would do that there. The other thing I was looking at is, and there's some things that I say that's like you need to do it for the mechanics of the game. This is the best way to do it. Fast move optimization. Like if you have a 2-turn versus a 3-turn move, throw 1 2-turn move and then your charge move to minimize their fast move optimization. That's fact. What is not fact, which I'm still debating just based on this matchup, is giving up Switch unnecessarily in what is an even lead. I always say there's 3 things that win GBL games. Switch advantage, energy advantage, shield advantage. And I don't understand why you willingly give up one of those when you are in generally a neutral matchup. In fact, you're slightly probably better than neutral because you resist the mud shots. Yes, it could have Stone Edge, which would suck. But it could also be running Mud Bomb, Aqua Tail, and then you would dominate the Quagsire with your flyer. So I don't like getting out into like losing that switch unnecessarily when you don't have to. Now, that is not a set rule, right? That is not a rule that says you must stay in evenish matchups if you're not running like an ABB style team where you have to try and draw out a fighter or something or whatever you're trying to draw out. So my suggestion coming from Dan Ottawa, his personal opinion, is don't give up switch unless you have to. You're throwing X Scissor into a poison fairy, which will resist the X Scissor. So in that scenario, you probably needed to go discharge, but now the X Scissor does land on the Quagsire, which is a catch, I guess. They're just using that as a shield. Malamar in the back, which is very helpful to you because they can only throw superpower. Psywave is resisted. Foul play is resisted. They're still taking neutral from your foul plays because they are half psychic. Sorry, you're probably getting a lot of unnecessary sounds in this video. I dislodged the the kernel corn that was in my teeth. So that's a positive. I'm sorry that I tried to get it out multiple times. And now you're going for discharge when X Scissor super effective, double super effective at that. So please throw the X Scissor. You do not know your typings. You already said you didn't know your typings. X Scissor is super effective against Dark. Bug is super effective against Dark. Bug is super effective against Psychic. You have a double super effective X Scissor there. Throw the X Scissor. Bad lead. Okay, this is one you should get out of. Yes, that is one I get out of. Get hit with the punish here too. Okay. So you just gotta throw the Ice Beam. That's fine. There's not much you can do here. You'll live a Frenzy. I think you get outpaced to the next move though. What is it? 30 for you and not 30 for them? But if you have like a bubble or 2 advantage or they just overfarmed, this will be grabbing a shield. But I think now you should get outpaced to the 3rd move for sure. And giving up switch just to go back into a bad matchup, when you're so low and you could have just came in and snarled like 3 there. This is exactly what happened in, was it yesterday's video that I did? That I covered? People are being way too over-aggressive on the swaps now. That's the second time I've seen this sort of play out, and you're throwing a resisted move into a steal, so this is not going to take out either. Yeah. Okay, you grabbed a shield, and now you get out to this one. Okay, throw that X Scissor. Throw that X Scissor. X Scissor one-shots and you win the game with ease here, but okay. I noticed that in the last video that someone submitted to was they're making what I thought was over-aggressive, unnecessary swaps. And I'm seeing the same thing here. And I don't know if it's a mental thing because you now have that 50-second switch clock that you're just like, oh, I can do it, I should do it. Yeah, you're going to go down here now too. Okay, this is just a loss. Yeah, you 100% blew this game. This was an easy, I don't know if it's an easy win, but this should not have played out the way it played out. But yeah, a lot of people are making really aggressive swaps, and I don't know why. And I don't know if it was just like U2 in action here that it happened. I guess you are double weak to Rock too here. If it's just like U2 and I just kind of went back to back so it's fresh on my mind, or if people in general are just being more aggressive with their swaps because you're not switch locked as long. Now, don't get me wrong. I am also being more aggressive with my swaps, but I'm being more aggressive at the times that it is opportunistic to be aggressive, as opposed to some people like the last two I showcased where I think they're just being over aggressive in the swaps because they can. So I don't know. Might cut the battle shorts because there's 24 minutes of battles here. That's a little long for my liking, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll play like a couple more matchups and then we'll see, because it's already been 20 minutes of video. Get that Dark Pulse off. I guess if they only have Body Slam, it's not bad. Yeah, you know what? It's not terrible to overfire, but the rollouts are super effective. So it seems like a lot of extra damage, but you are getting a lot of extra energy, and they're down shields. Gastron, again, Mud Slap user, so a great flyer here to have. So just stay in this matchup. You can live a Body Slam because it's non-stab and it's garbage. So with ease, live that, and the Mud Slaps aren't going to do anything because those are double resisted. And this is why I don't like. This is why I don't like Gastrodon. I don't care that it's top ranked. I don't care that a million people used it at regionals. I think it's overrated. I really think it's overrated. Gonna stay in this matchup, and makes the catch on the AZUMARILL. Nice. You should be coming in Charjabug. Like, don't play with it. Okay. Because it's still not going to take out, and then Volt Switch isn't going to take out either. It's going to be like 4 Volt Switches or 3 or 4 Volt Switches to take out a grass from this range. There's one. In comes the Gastron. I would shield this, yeah, because Earth Power is the only thing you really need to worry about out of all the moves here. Right? I'm not really worried about anything on Superior. It's either a Resisted Frenzy or a non-stab Aerial Ace. So take it out. Back-to-back X Scissors for the win. Okay, maybe we'll do one more battle because it's been 18 minutes. Take a look at this last one here. How many damn Marowak leads are you going to get with Flyer? Okay, so good lead. Machamp. Staying in here to get off the Aerial Ace. I don't hate it, but then you should be going into... Again, you have multiple answers for this. Yeah, I think getting into your AZUMARILL where you resist the Karate Chops and at best going to take a non-stab Rock Slide, that's fine. They'll get to another one. Again, you'll live. You'll get to a charge move. Honestly, I don't even think you need to play rough because these bubbles are going to add up so much here on a Shadow Machamp because it's just so glassy. And they double shield. At this point, you kind of have to shield. Yeah, you want to get the alignment back with Mandibuzz here, even though it's a bait move. Now this is a second bait. You can let this one go. You could have let that one go because you would have taken this out. Out comes a Feraligatr. Now you get the hiss. Yeah, I think you fight for switch because you want to get that Mandibuzz back on the Marowak, and you do not want to get a Charjabug on a Marowak. I know you don't count though, but like when they throw a cross chop and then throw another move immediately, it's unlikely that they are going to have a Rock Slide loaded on the back end there. So it's kind of a waste of a shield. And now, coming in to take those resistant Mud Slaps. Rock Slide is super effective. It's a non-shadow Marowak, so I don't even think this will do enough. And then you snipe with the Ice Beam. I meant enough to do like 2 Rock Slides. It's obviously nowhere near enough, but it's not enough to do just 2 Rock Slides. They're going to need a third, so this should be an easy matchup. Okay. We're already at 25 minutes. This is a pretty easy win here, so we're going to call it here. So thanks for this mission. Yeah, so a couple things. You said you don't know typings, and some of the, yeah, like when I have a fairy, even if it's a AZUMARILL and I see a dragon, I'm going into that matchup. Stay in with a good, like stay in with any neutralish lead. I don't like giving up switch unnecessarily. And then typings, yeah. Like throwing a neutral discharge instead of a double super effective X-Scissor. Again, I don't know all my typings either. I keep saying that, but at this point, I probably do know all my typings. Or like 99%. I'm sure I still don't know like one of the poison like resistances or something, but I'm pretty sure I know almost everything here. But yeah, if you don't know everything, I understand, because it takes time to learn, and you only learn by like just like memorizing, or just playing a crap ton, and then you just kind of get used to it. Thanks for the submission. Have not, I guess rightfully, I was going to say rightfully so, had not seen many Charjabugs because of all the ground type Pokemon. Clodsire just absolutely walls it. Marowak, you can at least hit neutral with X-Scissor, and Gastron, you'd have to sit at neutral with X-Scissor. So I guess it makes sense that there's less Charjabugs, and less Lanterns this time around too. But there is still for Alligator and Mandibuzz and others. So Charjabug still should have play. And then obviously Mandibuzz and AZUMARILL have play as well. So that is it. Thanks for the submission. And I will see you guys in the next one.